And
Oh, hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Uwe Boll Raw. I'm Gary Otto. We've got Dr. Uwe Boll, the best director in the universe, here with us. Welcome, Uwe.
Hallihallo. So, as people see, we're getting more professional with our light equipment. With our light equipment, I tried to switch it on, but it doesn't work right now. I
Yeah,
don't know.
look at this. Look what I got here. I got a
Uh,
microphone.
oh,
Look at
you're
that.
See, I have sticker microphones now, and I will start using them soon. But my wife is my technical advisor, and she's in England with her tribella.com. That's the news of the week. So tribella.com, the social media network, what is basically against bullying and stuff like this, is now in the App Store. So everybody
Oh,
can go in the App Store and load tribella.com on your phone, and so you can send videos, unlimited links also, not like Twitter, like 60 seconds, whatever. Like you can send an hour video, you can send 5 minutes video, you can send voice messages, text messages, you have your own feed. And when you try to
wow.
porn or stuff, you get filtered, right? That's the whole idea with more younger users to not let executions live go through or super violent videos or super pornographic stuff, and also not like if you we tried it out, so it's working. So let's say I send you, I'm fucking killing you, Gary, right? So as an example, then it pops up, really, like it really like don't talk like this, right? So it kind of corrects you. So it's basically what everybody's asking for the whole time, that younger, like let's say under 18 years old people are not getting too early confronted with real violence, suicides in front of cameras, and with a porn invasion, you know and we all know that Meta and all these companies are not taking care of this. They're not protecting the use. And so now Trabella is there, and people can load it up and put it on the phones of the kids, use it themselves. I think the technology, how it looks like, is very high end. It's the same like Instagram, or it's like a combination between Instagram, WhatsApp, and Facebook in a way, because you have also your site where you put in who are you, what are your hobbies, so that people who want to contact you, they can see similar on a like a Facebook site, who are you, So I think that's great.
Yeah, I gave it a try when it was in its test phase, and I have to say that if I had kids, that's probably where I would send them to go.
Yeah, so it's also like now on schools you have extortion, you have all kinds of stuff going on schools, and violence too. So I think it can only help to get a little order into things, and the AI system corrects you. So at least you have to think twice about what you send to somebody,
Yeah.
and it's not saying you're blocked. Like me on Twitter, I'm shadow banned. I don't know why. It's forever, and Elon Musk didn't took it away. So, and I don't know. You can never ask Twitter why you're shadow banned. So, but here you're not getting banned at all. You're also not getting shadow banned, but you get feedback, because it's very high end programming behind it, where then people will say, okay, I don't want that somebody writes my 15 years old daughter, you're a whore and I fuck you in the ass, like stuff like this. And so, I mean, that's, I think, a good thing. And that from me, who's so against censorship, who is so against political correctness, but there is a difference between that, you know.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
difference between trying to destroy somebody online, that they're getting suicidal, or making like ruthless jokes or something.
Well, especially because they're kids, their brains are still developing, their emotions or their hormones are still out of balance. So, you know what I mean? It's really a low blow to expect the kids, to put all that weight on the kids' backs. You know what I mean? Like, kids are very sensitive, and even though we know it's bullshit and we know it's just some random nobody, the kids will take that stuff to heart. You know what I mean? And that's how we end up with all these suicides and all this stuff that, from our perspective, looks like, oh my God, why'd that kid do that? He had so much to live for. Well, in the mind of the child at that moment, you know what I mean? So we've got to have
Yeah,
more empathy for the kids, you know?
100%. And I think that's very important to protect them as long as possible. And also, a lot of videos, especially when it comes to sex or porn, it just, the expectations are then totally wrong. I think more about boys now. Boys watching porn. I watched porn, but when porn was online, I think I was 30, like before, or 35. And then we had only Playboy magazine to masturbate, whatever before. So, and now 12 years old, 13 years old can just go on any porn site and say, yes, I'm over 18, click, you
Well,
know.
what's fucked up is that when we used to read Playboy or Penthouse, that's like a pretty normal, it's not very like, it's not like people shitting in each other's mouths. You know what I mean? It's pretty normal.
Yeah.
And like now kids these days can search for all sorts of weird fetish shit. So, which is much more intense than the porn that we grew up with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, horrible. And that's the thing. It's like that you get the feeling like, let's say you grew up like this, you're 12 or 13, you're in the puberty, and now you see people like choking each other, and it looks like the best thing ever. And you think like, that you have to do this. If you have sex, I have to do this, and but you don't have to. That's the thing, right? It's not like uh, uh, any kind of bondage is now the standard, or choking, or whatever, anal or whatever. It doesn't need to. Uh, that's the exemptions. That's the things there are add-ons maybe later on, whatever. But first of all, it should be like normal romantic sex. Like if you try, like that's the thing. And it also, like, porn never has anything to do with romance, right? It has to do just with horny people. I am the plumber, right? So whatever. So, and it's also like this kind of, it devalues, I think, love or romantic sex or whatever. So it's kind of horrible.
Yeah,
But
when kids, that gets normalized to kids, they get fucked up. That's for sure.
yeah. And then we have, so we're in post production of Shift 2 and 3, of course. It takes longer because we made two movies. There will be nothing really visible before the end of January in cuts, like rough cuts or whatever. Citizen Vigilante is sold into the US and Canada and German speaking, and hopefully soon UK. We're working there on the offers, but I hope we sell more territories fast. But the main territories are sold, and
Did
run.
we end up getting a theatrical release?
Yeah, but only 5 theaters.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like, I mean, in a contract there's a minimum of 5 theaters, but this time in comparison to first shift, at least 3 screenings a day for a full week. So that is already different as the fake screenings on first shift, where there was like one screening at 11 a.m. in New Jersey somewhere. I mean, it was bullshit. So I think they want to take advantage out of that Army Hammer will get invites to a lot of shows. I mean, everybody wants him to talk with him about the scandal, the cancellation, but also about, then the condition is, oh, you want him, but you have to show the trailer of Citizen Vigilante. I mean, it has to be, we all have to work together, and then he could be in Entertainment Tonight. He could be in The View, whatever, right? I don't know, but he could be invited even if he gets attacked. But he will get way more press as, for example, think about Run, right? On Run, we had not one question to any of these actors to do an interview from any press. So means you have. I still hope whoever listens to this rent it, watch it. It's a good movie. it gets basically only bad reviews by people that didn't watch it. When you see on IMDb, like 1 point, 1 point, but a lot of people who watched it give it 6, 7, 8, 9 points. And it's a good movie. We had last week another theatrical screening in Berlin, and I was over Zoom talking. There were like 75 people in the audience. It was a good discussion about the migration problem. But all that actors, Amanda Plummer, James Russo, even if he's in Tulsa King right now, they don't really trigger press.
Yeah.
It's not like we have here somebody, you want to go to Joe Rogan, you want Amanda Plummer. And then he said, no. So, I mean, that's the thing, right? So to get in this A-list podcasts, I think Armie Hammer is a big chance to get in all these podcasts.
Yep. He's young, he's relevant, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hollywood was setting him up to be a big star, so kids know who he is.
Yeah, and it's also he can articulate, right? He's intelligent. He can go somewhere. It's not like when let's say I have a movie like Run, and I should be in Joe Rogan for this, talking about the migration, right? So, and then if they would invite James Russo, that talk would be more about James Russo's life, and then they would show a little clip from Run. But they would not like really dig into the subject matter enough, and that's the thing. But even a James Russo is not big enough of a name to get you to the top podcasts or the
Yeah.
top evening Jimmy Kimmel and all that stuff. With Armie Hammer, you could get into Jimmy Kimmel, you could get into Colbert, whatever. You could get in all this shit, and that's good. I mean, that's what I hope for. So the US will release it in spring. So it will, and there will be also a real Variety or Hollywood Reporter article coming up in the next few days. So means I hope our podcast is not getting into too much press right now. Otherwise, we lose that article. But it
Yeah.
doesn't. Look, we just said it. We also have our podcast to bring news out, and yeah. But I mean, Run is what I didn't know was when we loaded it up worldwide is that a lot of countries don't have Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
What I didn't know. You can say Apple is everywhere, but not a lot of people watch Apple. That's the thing, Amazon is the leading horse. And then I looked on the distribution things, and I said, like, why is there not one view in Portugal? Like, none. And because there is no Amazon Prime, it's like totally absurd. It's hard to believe, but it's actually true. So that's the thing where we have a little problems with this, and we hope we get more outlets and also more individual sales.
There's a lot of people holding out for a physical release. I saw it online.
Yeah, I mean, I signed a contract with Massacre Video, who did here Postal, right? We signed the contract. I said, should we deliver the movie to you? Dead silence. I mean, I get only a mini MG, like a mini fee. And I said, should I invoice the mini fee? Silence. So, Louis, Justin, if you hear this, you need to wake up or whatever. I don't know what's happening. But it's now, of course, shit because I signed the contract. So we would
Well,
have.
maybe they're doing poorly and they need to make more sales. So I think everybody should go and buy stuff from Massacre Video and also email Massacre Video and say you want to see Run released on Massacre Video. Maybe that will wake them up. Not just the sales, but they're a small boutique distributor, so I'm sure that they don't have tons of money.
But that's the reason I didn't ask for a lot of money. So, and I said, look, you get the director's commentary, the making of the whatever, you get all that stuff. And yeah, as I said, so far there was no delivery to it. And in Germany also, I don't have a DVD deal. We were thinking doing it ourselves. Also, it's not so easy. That in a way, it's a little like Heart of America, Darfur. If you do films, there are real violent, but clearly more a drama, and
Yeah.
not like Rampage or Southern Wall Street, not more like this clearer action concept. they don't sell. They fucking don't sell. These are the movies they should run for an Oscar. But if you don't run for an Oscar, if they don't pick you and you get all the nominations, you're toast. You're not getting real revenues, and that's a very hard hit, very hard to swallow.
Yeah, the market is very fickle right now. People are really just very selective about what they're. It's like, I don't know, people will only watch what's on Netflix. Do you know what I mean? People won't go out of their way to buy stuff anymore. They'll
Yeah,
only watch what's directly in front of them. Like First Shift was on Paramount because it happened to be there. It got a lot of audience by accident, honestly, I think.
yeah.
And that's great in a way, but in the same time, because Run is not on a streaming platform, it's a disservice to this great film that should be seen by other people, that people should watch it. I think that the trailers and the clips don't do the movie justice.
No, I think the movie is more complex and better
Mm.
as the clip. You know,
Yeah, it's a great film. It is, and I'm going to do a review of it very soon on this network, guys. So
that's good. And Matt also did a nice review of Run. You know,
yes,
and I like that too. And I hope you all go and vote on IMDb and on Amazon to vote it up. That would be good. Of course, it will go to Prime in the end for free. So uh, but it would be too early now. So before the plan is in February. Basically, you can watch it on Amazon Prime for free, but then we're getting only like 10, 12 cents a view. That's
yeah. So if you want to support it and you want to help support, because when you support it, we can make more movies, guys. That's pretty much what it is. Is you're like, oh, make Rampage 4. Well, that's never going to happen if you
no.
don't buy the movie.
No, and I mean, I'm a little optimistic about 23 years later, Return to Zombie Island, in regards of so Indiegogo will launch a campaign additional to our own campaign for that Zombie House of the Dead sequel, basically. And we had a Zoom, Natalie and I, with them, and we were lucky because what I didn't know is Indiegogo got sold to a Polish company. They're not
Oh,
American anymore. And they continue one and one what they did, but these two guys from the Polish company are big Uwe Boll fans. And they promised they will move me on the title of all campaigns, and they will support the campaign with marketing power. So, and I mean, Indiegogo is the best possible partner because if you raise 100,000, you can still keep it if you make the movie, right? So you don't have to do like what we had with Kickstarter, where if you don't reach the target, you're toast and everything gets reimbursed. So, and I feel like, of course, I'm willing to also invest in 23 years later, but I think we should easy get a $500,000. I mean, I mean, that has to be, if that is properly advertised and that gets featured and it gets marketing behind it, it cannot be that whatever, like total shit movies collecting millions there. And like the iconic House of the Dead sequel with the same actors raises $25,000. I mean, it cannot be. That there
yeah.
has to be more money in. And as I said, I will push this in January. This will go out, and it will be like a 6 weeks campaign, not too long, and it will get really punched behind it. And with my website, we got 3 people. They want to pay 10 grand, and then we have so far maybe 15 to 20 perks sold for like $50, $150, like this range. But the 3 people who want to invest a 10,000, I told all 3, look, hold your horses, right? So because if I don't do the movie, I don't want your money. So it's like, don't wire me the money now. And
Yeah.
they're holding back, but they said they're ready to wire whenever I pull the trigger. And of course, I hope for more like bigger investors, also that people will get revenues if you go with 10,000 or more in, right? So then you are percentage wise exactly, let's say the movie costs 2 million, right? So 20,000 is then 1% of the revenues worldwide, but there will be no deductions. It means like, let's say 2 million is the budget, you put 20,000 in, and 2 million is the worldwide revenues, then you have your 20,000 bucks back. So it's not like I get before you money, or like, or anybody gets money before anybody. And I think that's fair, because that is what a lot of these campaigns, or a lot of people that invest in movies, learn the hard way, is that other companies deduct money first. 30% distribution fee, 250,000 bucks distribution cost, whatever, producer fees, deferred producer fees, and stuff like this. And we don't do that. So if the movie makes, let's say the movie makes only 200,000, then it's not like, oh, I keep all the money. No, then you have 2,000 bucks back. Then you lost money, but you still got 2,000 bucks back, 1% of the 200. And I
That
think,
sounds very fair. That sounds
yes,
fair.
that's the fairest deal you can do, and yeah.
Because Hollywood accounting would make it so they would be waiting like 20 years to get their money back, you know?
If they ever get the money back. Yeah, it's like so much account cheating out there that I'm not so sure to get your money back. And naja, but also I think to announce this here is important to say, we made the decision that here on this Uwe Boll Raw channel is now all the English content, and only there. And on my German channel on YouTube will be only the German stuff. So for everybody from Germany who hears this here, from here on, it's only the English version, and in Germany is the German version. So two different YouTube channels. Uwe Raw is for all the English-speaking and international people. So
Is Uwe's week, right?
yeah, Uwe's week I do in German, and I see always when I do the Insta Live or whatever parallel to the YouTube, I've basically the two cameras going, that a lot of Americans, whatever, asking, and I don't understand the word, like stuff like this. So, and now I will go around and announce it that that's always in German, so forget it. But something similar we will install here, means like we both talk, and then maybe 3-4 shorter videos where I just talk, where I spontaneously be pissed about something, and or have some news, and then I send it to you and you put it up.
Yeah, whenever you get, motivated or inspired by something and you're whatever it is, whether it's happy or sad, we
Yeah.
want that kind of passion. So just make those videos, send them over to me and we'll get them up.
Yeah, and I felt also, uh, and that's the thing in Germany too, a little, it drags me down to talk about politics too much, right?
Yeah.
It's like, because it's this endless loop. First of all, it's this endless thing where we don't know really what's happening, right? So we don't know how it all ends, from the Ukraine war or whatever. We don't know it.
Oh
And
man, don't even talk about it. That's a fucking, yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's a clusterfuck right now, right? It's like, um, as we said, we can talk about it for 2 minutes, but in general, the the problems are not getting solved properly right now from nobody. So, and that is true with Trump, that's true with Europe, that's true also with Zelensky, Putin, whatever. It's like, and what is frustrating, I think, is when you see the better way, but nobody's just doing it. Nobody's doing it. And that it's a lot of details where you feel like, I mean, what the fuck? And in Germany, I said like about the situation now where it looks like Putin has no more interest in doing this, in doing the peace deal, that I was all that from the beginning on very clear that of course the Ukraine cannot win the war against Putin. and they very clearly said they need to find a common peace deal. And I think they waited too long.
Yeah, they
That's
relied too much on the United States.
Yes, the Europeans told always Zelensky, "Oh, we support you, no problem. If the US drops out, you get the weapons and money from us, blah 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 blah." But now the Ukrainians are tired. A lot of people are dead. A lot of people left the country. Like over 20% of the Ukrainian population left. They're out of the Ukraine, 20%, right? So, and now it's this kind of um, they're tired out. Now it's the winter, and Putin always, first of all, he sends all kinds of people to the front lines, people he don't care if they're dead, prisoners, Wagner, mercenaries, North Korean soldiers, like the trash, because he doesn't care, right? So, like if you are the parent in Moscow, or let's say you're the middle class in Moscow or St. Petersburg, your kid's not going to war. Everything is nice, everything is good, like stuff like this. And so he holds his power in killing, like, as I said, the trashies, or people from deep Siberia, from far away. So means the Russians are not really tired out. They don't even feel the war too much, and because it's also not on their territory. So and that's the problem, and that's the thing. And I want that if they overdo it, that at one point, if Putin actually thinks, yeah, in 6 months I have it all, then why he should settle for something like mediocre, And
Yeah.
when you see now the proposal from the Europeans or from Zelensky, the proposals are still, let's say, he has to accept this. He has to remove the troops from there. He cannot. We will never like. Even if he keeps the front line how it is, the Europeans wrote, we still not accepting it, right? So it means like that's not the peace deal. If the 28 points deal, what Trump came up with, and his business persons or Jared Kushner or whatever, was of course extremely in favor of Russia, but it was also maybe this kind of take it or leave it offer. It was this kind of where Putin maybe talked to the Americans and said, look, if you get that deal through, we're done. And then they came back, and the Europeans omitted 8 points out of it. They brought a 19 points plan. Then Marco Rubio also changed the 28 points plan. And because he's not so excited to give Russia so much and shit like this. And then they went back to Moscow yesterday, and Putin said, yeah, you have the 28 points, like just sign it and make Zelensky sign it. And they said we can't. Zelensky will not sign it. And then Putin said, yeah, too bad, right? So we're signing only this. And so now the whole situation continues in the next winter. The
Yeah,
next
I kind of saw that coming, honestly, because they were very, very adamant that they would only accept complete and total victory. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but not total victory in regards of taking all of Ukraine. Total victory in taking the south, and
Yeah.
and that they
They
can
want
keep it.
Donetsk. Is that how you pronounce it?
Donetsk. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because in Donetsk are a lot of steel and mining and so on. So that's a very financially interesting city for, besides strategic, but it's also financially for Putin great to keep it. And look, when you see the contract, of course it was a total rigged contract that only America and Russia would make money. I mean, like they would share those rare earths, they share this, blah, blah, blah. But look, in the very end, it's like I compared it in my German show with you're at a film market and somebody says, I give you 20,000 bucks for that movie for Spain, right? And then there's no other Spanish offer. And then you go back to the Spanish buyer and you say, give me 30,000 bucks and we have a deal. And then the Spanish buyer says, I give you 20,000 bucks. That's the last offer. Take it or leave it. That's the situation now in the Ukraine.
Yeah.
Means you have no fucking distribution in Spain for the movie, or you take the $20,000. So that's the situation in the Ukraine. It's like, and I think Zelensky, who appears more and more desperate recently, is basically slowly getting it that if he put all his hopes only into basically France, England, and Germany, he built his hopes on like paper, but not, like, I mean, they because all that countries have a big problem delivering what he needs.
Well,
They
I
need,
think that would be the start of World War III. You know what I mean? I think that Russia would see that as a provocation, and without the US to stop them, Russia would be free to like test those, undetectable nuclear warheads in their whatever.
yeah,
So,
yeah, but I mean, think about it. That would be the beginning of the end,
yeah.
because I mean, then it escalates to a nuclear exchange. That's the reality, So, and I
And
think,
it sucks. It's fucking bullshit. It needs to stop now, you know?
yes, yes, and that's the thing where I feel, let alone, let's say, I feel like the common sense is not there. There was a talk show in Germany last week where a high-end politician from the government, he said he thinks we should fly airstrikes on the front lines, like German airplanes with German pilots. And he said France and UK basically would join, and so we could dominate the front lines, right? I know, but what is that? What else is that besides World War III? I mean, there is no difference. That's the declaration of war. In all that months and months of the war, 3 years, America and NATO in general made sure there was only weapon and logistic support and money, but not like, oh, there's a German soldier at the front line. I mean, that would, that because then you're in World War III in that same moment. I mean, that there's no, then it's like clear, crystal clear where we are. And that this guy from Germany just said that, like, that would have no consequences. He actually thinks we should just fucking defeat Putin there, and Putin will not answer with a nuclear bomb. He will
Yeah,
just,
because Trump, you know what his response will be? His response will be, "Oh, you shouldn't have pushed them. You should have seen, you should have known that they were more powerful than you and you got what was coming to you." That's the kind of thing that Trump would say. He wouldn't come to the rescue unless
natürlich.
he got paid.
No, but I mean, in a way, it's almost understandable because so he could have only a European war going, right? So he could, like, what he doesn't want is if then the US would also support per NATO. He needed to support per NATO, but let's say he could say, look, you guys started it.
Yeah, that's what he'll do. He won't support NATO. He fucking loathes NATO. He's a
Yeah,
fucking, yeah, that's exactly what would happen. And if it got us kicked out of NATO, that's what would happen. He doesn't give a fuck.
100%. 100%. It's like he gives a shit. And then Putin reached his target, because,
Yeah,
because he wanted to destabilize the West. And then the West would be completely cut in half between Europe and US. It would be the end of the longest, like, peacekeeping alliance in the world.
yeah,
So
the Western exceptionalism, Putin finds that really offensive, and he's been trying to take us down for a couple decades now, a couple generations. So I think that this is the long game, and I think that we're almost at the end, and it's gonna sting. You know what I mean? Unless people can fucking get their shit straight, get their head straight, and see this guy isn't fucking around. Maybe he is a psychopath, but that's even more reason to be a little bit wary of him, to be a little bit cautious. And I think that Trump is a psychopath as well. I'm very wary and cautious of him too. I don't put anything past him. He's capable of anything. And that's the attitude that they need to have.
We see it in front of Venezuela right now, right?
Yeah, look at the Venezuela. That's fucking crazy. He wants to hit on the land.
Yeah. I mean, for somebody who says he wants to end wars, he's kind of very aggressive right in front of the country.
He's starting them. He's a piece of fucking snake oil. He's like, okay, anything that he says is an admission. Like when he says Biden is the worst president in the history, he's saying that about himself. When he says like drugs are coming in from other countries and we need to admonish them. I mean, he's saying something about where are they really, where's the drugs coming from? Are they really coming from Venezuela or are they coming from like, I don't know, being made in the United States? It's very easy to make meth, like I don't know. So what is he where's he getting all this information from? Like is
No, he wants to get rid of Maduro because he's a socialist and he's closer to China and Russia as he is to the US,
so
basically.
you think it's just an excuse to get rid of Maduro?
100%. I think the
Interesting.
drugs are only like a, a, a reasoning behind it, right? If it's only drugs, why is not standing in Colombia?
Yeah, it's bullshit. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like
It's
I don't get
not
it.
like Venezuela is super known to be the main drug producer in the world. Not really, to be honest, right? So, and I listened to a whole podcast. They say like in Peru, a lot of drugs getting done. Of course, Mexico and Colombia, and Venezuela is not even 15% of the drug from Latin America traveling into the U.S. So to pick out Venezuela, let's say Venezuela's president would be Milei, right?
Yeah.
His best buddy. I mean, he would give a shit about the drug dealing. He would not do anything, and that's the thing. So he's doing it because of
He's
he
not
doesn't like the guy in power. He wants to remove the guy in power. So
yeah. The
that's
guy in power is like a lefty, huh?
yeah. And I mean, it's kind of uh, the even Joe Rogan said it in a podcast. He's doing a podcast. Start watching it today with the Nvidia boss, the guy from Nvidia from the chip factory. It's very interesting, and they both talk about Trump. And I think Joe Rogan in a way nails it. And he said also, Bill Mayer even said it. He said, if you meet Trump in person, he is polite, he listens to you, he's interested in you. But if you see Trump doing politics, talking to reporters, talking to politicians, talking to the world, talking to the Congress, uh, he's a different human being. And he's like almost bipolar to this, right? This completely more understandable, in like friendly, in this kind of direct context. What everybody said who had dinner with him or talked to him, that he's very, let's say, he's not like the way he's presenting himself when he's in front of his helicopter, right? So, and that's the one thing. And the other thing is that he also like he's doing good things also, and for the good things he gets still criticized because they cannot be good things coming out of him in the meaning of most of the press. That's also true. But since he got elected, I pointed out a lot of things he's doing, like the illegal the ICE raids and throwing people out of the country who are workers and paying taxes and have a life in America. That's counterproductive and totally idiotic. So I'm totally against this. And now with Venezuela, I'm also like in contrary to this. You cannot just like bomb and kill random fishing boats, and you
Yeah.
never proved drugs. Like I mean, they just sink the boat, killed everybody, and said that were the smugglers, but it looks like they were not, right? So, and I mean, who gave them the intel? Or was it just like, oh, there's a fishing boat, we just shoot it, and then we basically acting like, see, that's happening to you, Maduro. That's happening to you. No, it's like this kind of who has the bigger dick. Uh, in the South Park episode about Pete Hexes, it was actually very funny how they,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
I
he's
think that Hegseth is really gonna go to jail, man, for fucking war crimes. What do you think?
No, I don't think, because he will get pardoned 5 seconds after he gets. I mean, that's also a thing where in every discussion, how can it be that the president can pardon people? That's the only country besides a total dictatorship who can do that. Not like if you have the court system and somebody gets 10 years for murder, 20 years for murder, whatever, and the president can just say, "Yeah, let him go." And it's insane. No other politician in the world actually can do this. Even Putin couldn't do it. I mean, he would do it and would say, look, he gets out of, oh, Putin would do it this way. He's not even getting into jail. But the thing is that he randomly and recently a lot, like the cryptocurrency guy, like tons of total corrupt people getting pardoned, the George Santos guy, by Trump very fast, so, and that's, I think that's a breach of trust, and also in a way a breach of the Constitution. I think the idea of pardoning people came from mercy, right? Let's say you have somebody 35 years on death row, and it was very questionable if you even did it, that you say, okay, that guy got punished enough, let him go. He's an old retired guy, whatever. As long as it's not like Dama or something. But let's say it was a guy who shot somebody in a bank robbery. You know, uh, I think that's mercy, to say, look, it's enough, let him go. But to have somebody, oh, he did tax fraud, stole $2 billion, gets in 4 weeks later, by that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's clear corruption. That's also 100% that there's a money flow behind all of this shit. So, and that's also for me like a no-go zone that shouldn't be allowed, and that should be changed in the Constitution of the USA. That the president can do stuff like this. That's ridiculous.
Well, the president right now has a lot of power that he probably shouldn't have, if you ask me. It's all being held up in the court. So it's debatable if he truly does have these kind of powers. But yeah, you're right. You're right. There's a lot of stuff that the president can do that I think that should be more to the people. You know what I mean? Like if somebody's a murderer and they should go through the court system, that should stick.
Yeah,
Uh, because the people make up the jury, and you know what I mean?
100%. And that's the thing. It's like, as I said, there are a lot of things where I feel like I'm not part of any political party, and I'm
Mm,
not part of any like kissing ass, because uh, I had sympathy for something else. I go political point for point for point, and if I don't like something, I point it out, no matter if it's from Trump or Gary Newsom. I give a shit. If I think that's wrong,
yeah.
I will always say it. So
And you know something, I want to say something about Trump before we get off this topic really quick, is that I will recognize that he hasn't done everything wrong. And I will say that the news media won't really report too many positive things about him. And you know why that is? It's because they're so upset over him trying to strip, their freedom of press and other various like freedoms. They're so upset about the things that he's done to kind of like censor us as a society that I feel like they're purposely giving a slant to just about every article to make it seem as if it's something negative. You know what I mean? And I get the frustration, but it really just makes people who are already disenfranchised with the news media say, aha, look at that. I was right. Like they really are shysters. Like they really can't report things at face value. When I don't think that's necessarily true. I think that they're just frustrated, and there's a lot of frustration going on that is creating articles that seem a little more in the favor of hating Trump. Does that make any sense?
no, 100%. And that's the thing. It's like, uh, look at Germany, for example. They had like huge budget discussions the last 2 weeks, and almost the new coalition almost fell apart. And then, in the middle of we have no more money, they made the decision from now on, all the people from the parliament can fly business class. I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, from strategically, in a situation like this, where you do speech after speech after speech, that we don't have enough money to do all this, the pension plan, whatever, like, the health care. And then, like, when it comes to them, every year, 8% more. Yes, all the parties, like, yes, even the communists absolutely want 8% more salary. And then, like, it was today in the news that they said, it's too hard to fly economy. I'm not talking about here the Chancellor of Germany. I'm talking about the 650 people who flying the whole time, like the Congress of Germany, right? Who's flying nonstop in Germany around. And then you have, like, mostly in Germany, actually. So, and in Germany, from Berlin to Munich, it's like an hour to fly. So why you need to fly business class? It's the ego. It's like, no, I'm not going in the coach, so I have to be business class because I am in the German parliament. So, and that's the thing. That's so bullshit. But that shows also that they have no hesitation, right? They give a fuck if it's their interest or their buddy's interest or whatever to put like money into NGOs and all that stuff. They ruthlessly keep spending all that money, and then it's like uh, they
So
vote.
business class, wait, that's first class?
Yeah, it's basically mostly like you don't have really in this kind of shuttle machines that you have only a little more room, right? You have a little more, a little wider seat for this 1 hour flying.
But you get like a free drink and shit, you know?
Absolutely, and but the value is, of course, that you fly then everywhere business class. So as soon somebody gets invited to the UN to New York, you fly it first, right? So they always get the highest class available, basically. So, and that's a massive difference. If you fly coach from Frankfurt to New York, that's $1,500. If you fly business, it's $4,000. You know,
Oh,
it's a huge price difference. So, and of course the taxpayers need to pay it. Yeah. So we have to wrap it up. I have a Zoom in 15 minutes, and then Walter has to go to the handball train. Yeah,
okay.
but it was a good show,
Well,
I think. And everybody knows now English only on Uwe Boll.
yeah, English on this show and Uva's Week on Uva's YouTube channel. We also have our Uva Ball Raw channel, which is going to be releasing the Uva Ball Raw language, English language videos. Um, Guys, please subscribe to this channel, like and comment and share. And hopefully, you guys all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. What do you think? Did you have a great Thanksgiving, Uva?
We don't eat turkey here in Germany, but
Oh,
we had
okay.
had a duck. We had a duck yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, guys, we'll see you next time. Take care, Uva.
Bye bye.